Just on the budget and the nonsense our politicians and bureaucrats get up to, I want to show you a Treasury document highlighted today by Judith Sloan, the contributing economics editor with the Australian newspaper and my guest on the program last night, as it happens. She's directed us to a new Treasury paper on children and the gender earnings gap that talks about what it calls the motherhood penalty. The motherhood penalty. Wow, talk about a positive, family-friendly vibe, hey? Now, I know it's dangerous these days for any blokes to talk about these issues, but I am a father and I know lots of mothers, and mothers love being mothers. It's not a penalty. It's a gift, a joy, a challenge, a sacrifice, sure. It's lots of things and it's not easy, but it's not a penalty. But of course, the point the Treasury boffins are getting to is pay and productivity. And believe you, and believe the life we all live here is very, very busy. And my home itself is one of two small boys and two full-time career-minded parents. So we all get the debate, the need for maximum flexibility for women and for men in the workforce, and especially for mothers and families being able to work out the arrangements that best suit them. But this paper talks about the motherhood penalty being reflected in the significant impact of children on the long-run labour market outcomes for women. Well, you don't say. It goes on to say women's earnings more than halve after the arrival of children and remain lower for at least a decade. Now, this is not surprising. Many women give up work for an extended period, and those who go back to work often prefer part-time work, you know, so they can spend time being mothers. Now, this is wonderful. Choice is paramount, surely. Some women prefer to or they need to go back to full-time work, so we should support that. And we should support women who make other choices, families who make other choices. But the bureaucrats seem to frown upon any time out of the workforce. Treasury declares the motherhood penalty has implications for gender equity and national productivity. National productivity. Oh yeah, women need to be mothers and then never stop working. Now, I'm a huge advocate for working mothers, and I know all too well that employers have to do better so that families can have flexibility and that women especially don't go backwards after a period of maternity leave or are not discriminated against because they work 3 days a week or 4 days a week rather than 5. But this mindset of the motherhood penalty goes further. They want to pretend that mothers, fathers and families don't want to prioritise their children and have one parent at least, most often the mother, spending more time caring for children. These are decisions for families. We don't need governments or bureaucrats telling us what we should be doing. Families sacrificing income to care for kids is not a penalty, that's an investment. That's not a loss in our national productivity, but a boost to our society. We've got to stop this almost Soviet obsession with thinking that the government should be caring for all of our kids all day, every day, from the cradle to the grave.